Today we're diving into a really shocking story out of Bihar's recent election. It's about the murder of a man named Dularchand Yadav. Now, on the surface, it's a daylight assassination caught on camera. But what it really does is rip the curtain back on a much deeper, much more complicated world of power, politics, and crime that's been bubbling there for decades.
And this whole thing forces us to ask a really fundamental question, right? Think about it. What happens to the democratic process when the competition isn't about votes, but about bullets? When vehicles are literally used as weapons against your rivals? It's a tough question, and we're going to keep it in mind as we unpack exactly what went down.
Okay, so let's set the scene. We're in Mokama, Bihar. It's October 30th, 2025, and the state elections are in full swing. This is a place that's already known for being a political pressure cooker. The tension is high, rallies are everywhere, and you can just feel that the stakes are through the roof.
And right in the middle of all this chaos, a political convoy gets ambushed. Gunshots ring out, people are scattering. The target is one man, Dularchand Yadav. He gets shot. And then, in an act of just pure, shocking brutality, a Thar vehicle runs him over. And the wildest part? The whole thing was caught on video. It went viral almost instantly.
So, you have to ask, right? Who was this guy, Dularchand Yadav? And why would someone want him dead in such a public, ruthless way? Well, to understand that, we've got to look at his past. And believe me, it's quite a story.
I mean, just look at this timeline. It tells you everything you need to know about how complicated he was. Back in the 80s and 90s, he was called the King of Tal, a super influential local leader, even working with political heavyweights like Lalu Prasad Yadav. But then you fast forward to 2019, and the official police label for him is notorious gangster. And now, in 2025, he was back in the game, campaigning for a new party. His entire life was lived in that gray area between politics and crime.
So as soon as the murder happens, the blame game begins, and it gets messy, fast. This wasn't some simple case with an obvious suspect. Nope, a whole tangled web of old rivalries and powerful figures immediately bursts into the open, with everyone pointing fingers at each other.
So here's how it's playing out. On one side, Dularchand Yadav's family is pointing the fingers squarely at a rival strongman, a guy named Anand Singh. But Anand Singh immediately fires back. He says, "No way, it wasn't me. You should be looking at the allies of another strongman, Surajban Singh." You starting to see a pattern here?
And that question right there, that's the absolute key to this whole story. We keep hearing that word, strongman. These aren't just regular politicians. They're what are known locally as Bahubalis. And that's not a coincidence. It's the core of the system that allows something like this to happen in the first place.
So let's zoom out for a second, from this one specific crime to the entire political ecosystem of the region. We're talking about something known as Bahubali politics. It's this deep, deep-rooted connection between crime, caste identity, and just raw, unfiltered power.
So what does Bahubali politics actually mean? Well, picture this. You have these local figures, almost like godfathers. Many have criminal records, but they command absolute loyalty. They're part Robin Hood, helping their communities out, and part enforcer, using intimidation to maintain control. In this world, political power and criminal muscle aren't just linked, they're two sides of the very same coin.
So why is this one murder sending such massive shockwaves? Well, a few big reasons. First, the timing is just unbelievably brazen. It happened during an active election, when there's supposed to be strict rules for peace and fairness. Second, it throws gasoline on the fire of local caste tensions. And, of course, it's a huge challenge to the rule of law, and a major blow to this new political party trying to gain a foothold.
All right, so with a crime this public, this blatant, the pressure on the authorities was huge. They had to act. So what's the official response been? What have they actually done so far?
Well, things moved really fast at first. The murder happens on October 30th. The very next day, an FIR, that's the official police complaint that kicks off an investigation, is filed, and it names names, Anand Singh and his crew. The day after that, the Election Commission of India itself steps in, demanding a full report from Bihar's top police official on how a security failure this massive could have possibly happened.
So where does the investigation stand today? Here's the rundown. The police have identified the Thar vehicle used in the attack. Check. They've officially named the key political rivals in their report. Check. And a manhunt is underway. But here's the crucial part. While some smaller players have been brought in for questioning, the main suspects, they're still out there.
So as that manhunt continues, The murder of Dularchand Yadav just leaves us with this brutal, stark reminder of what's simmering just below the surface. It forces you to confront a really chilling question. In the world's largest democracy, what is the actual price of a single vote?